Hello, in this lesson you're going to learn English with a news article. We're going to read the article together and then you're going to learn grammar, vocabulary and pronunciation at the same time. We may also learn some phrasal verbs and some expressions along the way. I'm Michael and this is English with Mr. Michael. So here we've got the news from the BBC. So this is relating to technology. So what does this say? What's the title? So this here is the title, and fewer UK adults posting on social media, Ofcom fines. So what does this mean? So fewer relates to less. If you have, say, if you had 1 million people 10 years ago, I know it's a lot more, but if you had 1 million people posting on different social media platforms, so you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got X, for instance, and today you have 500,000 people posting. So because people are countable, that means you use the word fewer. If it was uncountable, you would say less. Okay, so UK adults posting, that means putting on social media. So you can say uploading, for instance, on social media, Ofcom fines. Now, fines relates to research. So they might use questionnaires, for instance. They might use a focus group or surveys to ask questions. So Ofcom is a government, so it's a regulation. It's a regulation body by the government. And what they do, they make sure that media companies don't break the law. So media, you've got TV, for instance. TV, you've got radio, you have traditional news like newspapers, and now you have social media, which is still relatively new form of media. So what do we have? We've got let's have a look. Okay, so this is bigger. So fewer adults in the UK are posting, commenting on, or sharing material. Commenting, what is this? Here, commenting. So you might type a response to a post, say on X. Lots of people respond on X if they don't like something. It's usually quite negative. Sharing material. Now, material can relate to anything. It can relate to newspaper articles. So newspaper. So newspaper, videos, anything that you can post really on social media, while AI use is up and the majority of people worry about their screen time to Ofcom. So people are worried about so screen time talks about how much you're on your phone, let's say. So some people call it scroll time. So scroll time, according to Ofcom, across the UK, 49% of respondents said they actively post on platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and X. And this is down from 61% the previous year. So what they do, they might say, okay, so if today, so if we are in April 1st, let's say, 2026, they will look at how much people used. So how much of social media did people use in April 2025? And there's a drop here. 61% the previous year, according to the regulator's latest survey of online habits and usage. So this is the survey that they used. Ofcom said this, and it's finding some people were choosing to post less permanent content, indicated a rise in passive social media use. So what does that mean? Passive social media use. So passive reading is passive. An active would be posting. So active is an antonym of passive. So what does that tell you? It tells you that people are posting less. It doesn't say why. Well, not yet anyway. It just says people are posting less. So here, for social media expert Matt Navarra, it suggests people may be seeking digital self-preservation. Now, what does that mean? Digital self-preservation. So before, when social media was quite new, lots of people took part and they used to post. People didn't mind what they posted, but now you can be cancelled, you can get fired, you can be attacked online and in real life if people don't like your opinions. So it looks like people are just thinking it may not be worth it. So by turning to smaller private spaces like group chats and DMs, so people are finding like-minded people. It's through safety, isn't it? They don't want to be criticized. Still social, less public. People haven't fallen out of love with social media. I think they've just become a lot more intentional about how they show up on it. Navarro told the BBC, show up means be active, be at the forefront, what people can see. Ofcom also said it found more adults had expressed concern posting online could cause them problems in the future. What we've just been talking about, you can lose your job. I mean, lots of people, especially celebrities, if they post their political opinions, for instance, you're alienating 50% usually of your fan base. So you can lose a lot of fans. So a lot of people, celebrities, they just don't tell you their political opinions. Something Navarro said showed that for many it now feels less like self-expression and more like a potential liability. So you're basically not free to say what you want online, especially in the UK, where people have been arrested. The police have turned up at the door and they've been arrested. Some people are in jail. So people just don't want the hassle. Social media isn't becoming less social, it is becoming less public. So private group chats. So we've seen those in WhatsApp, for instance, or Telegram, or all these other social media communicating, SMN, Messenger. things like that. Ofcom's findings form part of its wide-ranging annual audits, media use and attitude survey, that's a lungful, exploring people's changing media habits. So if we look here as well, the majority of adults and a large majority of 16 to 35-year-olds reported using AI tools, according to Ofcom. So they use AI tools to facilitate their social media. Ofcom's findings form part of its wide-ranging annual audits, media use and attitude survey, exploring people's changing media habits. Its latest survey, carried out between 29th of September and the 28th of November last year, saw 7,533 UK adults aged 16 or over how they use social media. So 7,533 UK adults aged 16 or over asked about how they use social media, find news online and feel about their digital privacy, among a range of issues. This included more UK adults using AI tools compared to previous years, rising from 31% in 2024 to 54% in 2025. That's a large increase. A large increase, but now AI and its usage has increased significantly since 2024. So people are getting used to using AI, and it changes so rapidly as well. Okay, this was largely being driven by young people using the tech. Ofcom said with 4 in 5 16 to 24-year-olds and 3/4 of 25 to 34-year-olds saying they use AI tools. For the first time, the survey also asked participants how they felt about their screen time, with 2/3, 67%, saying they sometimes spend too long on their devices. Yeah, so people are worried about the length of time they feel like they might be wasting. And, there are lots of experiments now, lots of studies that show the damage of spending too much time, with phrases like doom scrolling. Have you heard of that? Doom scrolling. News, constantly looking at negative news. And if you do that over a 2-hour basis, how will you feel? Okay. In a separate report published in late 2025, Ofcom said, so this is a link to that report, Ofcom said UK adults were spending 31 minutes longer online than during the pandemic in 2021, which is very strange considering people were very bored during the pandemic. So this is a very, very strange finding indeed. I wonder why. Have a think. Why do you think that is? Leave a comment. I'd be interested to hear what your opinion is. 31 minutes longer online than during the pandemic. Why? Okay. Meanwhile, it said responses to its annual Qualitative Adults Media Lives Tracker, it's a lungful, which follows 20 participants over time, suggested a shift in how adults use social platforms. Okay, I'll get rid of doom scrolling here because it's following us. I'm posting something very rarely now, which is funny because when I was younger, I would have been posting what I was eating for dinner, said one 25-year-old participant Ofcom have named Bridget. Dr. Yazbel Gerard, Senior Lecturer in Digital Media and Society at the University of Sheffield, said with some young adults, swapping smartphones for dumb phones and craving the MySpace era, digital fatigue may be a factor for those posting less. Digital fatigue. What does that mean? Digital fatigue. See if you can give me an example in the comments. When social media first became popular in the UK in the mid to late 2000s, posting written updates, photos and videos was novel and exciting, but it's neither of those things anymore, she told the BBC. Yet people didn't know what to expect so much, and they were interested in the response from people, but now you kind of know which kind of posts work and which don't. Ofcom also said its survey found less positive sentiment overall about being online, so people are quite negative. While 59% of people saw benefits outweighing risks of being online in 2025, this was down from 72% last year and 71% in 2023, it said in its report. It also saw little difference in positivity toward the internet between those age groups, very active and less active online. Okay, so that's very interesting. Now look at this, changing platforms. The findings also come against a backdrop of a much changed social media landscape. So, we had, what did we have? Snapchat, we had Twitter, Facebook, then Instagram came in, and then people sort of moved from Facebook, didn't they? They posted on Facebook, on their wall. Then they uploaded videos, photos, but videos now kind of go on YouTube, and photos go on Instagram. So it kind of got segregated, didn't it? Where platforms like Instagram and Facebook once prioritized showing people posts from those they know, feeds now show users more content from accounts they don't know, but whose videos are gaining attention. So the way it's used is different. Before it was just, what are your friends doing? Now it's, what are other people doing, where videos are popular. They want you to watch more videos and content from people you don't know. This includes Reels, a short video format which Meta has boasted in a bid to rival TikTok. Now, TikTok is relatively new and it's very popular. So people were leaving Facebook, leaving Instagram, and they were going onto TikTok. So, you've got Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube are pushing short form content because they want people to stay on their platforms. So we have a technology war, don't we? Social feeds are no longer really about your friends. They are algorithmic. What does algorithmic mean? Algorithmic. It's where the computer or artificial intelligence defines what your video is about. So they look at what you say. They look at the vocabulary words. They look at your thumbnail if you have one. They used to look at your metadata. So your titles they still look at, but they used to look at tags. Do you remember them? Tags. So they don't look at these as much, and they analyze what types of things people are looking at. And if people are looking at the types of things that your video is about, they'll show those people your video, and that's how they go viral. So they are algorithmic, video-first entertainment platforms. Ben Woods, creator economy analyst at Media Research, sees this as social media becoming less social, with platforms like YouTube and TikTok, known for their creator content, now also one-stop shops for entertainment. Yeah, so they've been in the news recently about addiction, and Meta have, and YouTube to a lesser extent, they've been fined because their content and the way they promote it has shown to be addictive, and it's affecting people and has affected teenagers. He said this would likely only increase with the growth of micro drama content. What is that? Micro drama content. This can be screaming and shouting, fighting, falling, kind of something shocking, 30-second to 3 minutes now video of something which keeps you looking at it. And while you're watching this video, they try and sell you things. So micro drama content. See if you can give me an example in the comments. On TikTok and broadcasters distributing shows on YouTube. When social platforms start to feel like TV, users naturally start acting like viewers instead of participants, right? So, I mean, me personally as well, I watch a lot of YouTube, probably more than TV, because YouTube's more interesting to me. So what's this? Facebook offering TikTok and YouTube creators $3,000 to post content. So you can make a lot of money as well. It doesn't talk about the financial aspect, but it's definitely there.